quick feminist backlash reaction to assume that she's being coerced, she's in an abusive relationship, and maybe she is. I don't know. If I had that body, I might be doing the same thing. You will see
I'm not surprised anymore. We live in a world where Wet Ass Pussy is a #1 song, and, Megan Thee Stallion shaking her butt next to Kamala Harris. I mean, like, we are at a place where it's just the new normal.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Right Point of View YouTube channel with your favorite host, Ashley, and I'm back with another reaction video. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, do we have a lot to get into. I have been missing in action, but I haven't been missing the action. You know what I mean? And we're going to jump right in with Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, and his whole big debacle over the last week or so has been... But I don't want to get too much into his tweets. We're going to dive in more specifically to the Grammys showdown, okay? Because, whoa, people have a lot to say, but particularly I'm interested in the conversation Piers had with his panel on the show. So let's jump right into it because I have a lot to comment. Let's go.
And I want to start, first of all, with Kanye West and Bianca Censori, which is a weird name for somebody who is about as uncensored as my show. This is what happened on the red carpet last night. Okay, let's start with the critical drinking.
Okay, so first of all, I'd like to say, wow, body, like, wow, okay? I mean, I think we can all agree that, I don't know, I mean, she probably has had some work done or something, I'm going to assume, but wow. We'll just start there, but let's roll.
Okay, I mean, look, Kanye's been going down some weird places for quite some time. Taking your girlfriend to a red carpet of a major event like the Grammys and basically making her just strip off pretty much naked. What do we think of this?
I mean, I have no idea if he actually made her do it, but like that is really taking revealing attention-grabbing dresses to their logical conclusion. Like, why bother wearing anything at all? I guess if you've got no particular talents and no abilities, well, that's a great way to grab headlines. Good luck to her, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, Shalon, is it sexist? What do we feel about, what do women think of this? I mean, obviously any woman can do that.
Yeah, I think that there's a very quick feminist backlash reaction to assume that she's being coerced, she's in an abusive relationship, and maybe she is. But there are a lot of women out there who would literally do this. Go to a NASCAR rally sometime. Like, you will see a hefty representation in the population of women who are absolutely fine getting attention for their body. And I don't know, if I had that body, I might be doing the same thing. Yeah. God limited me because he knew.
As beautiful as her body is, and I'd love to know who her fitness trainer is, she needs to be in a mental asylum. If you are leaving your house naked, you are mentally unwell, and indecent exposure is still against the law the last time I checked.
Okay, well, first of all, indecent exposure actually doesn't apply to the Grammys. And just to touch on some of the things that they started with, like this idea that Kanye or Ye is somehow forcing her to do these things. I don't know why that is the immediate assumption. If he is or he isn't, I have no idea. But why is that the first take? As if, I mean, she's been doing this for a good few years now, walking around barely clothed. We all know that Kanye is a very sexual guy. He's admitted his porn addictions. He dated and had 4 kids with Kim Kardashian, who is infamously known for never being clothed, became famous literally through a sex tape. So I just want to kind of scale that conversation back as if to why are we assuming that she is against her will in doing this? Kanye West clearly is a sexual guy. He's admitted that multiple times. He did recently admit on a tweet, which I'll include here, that he has dominion over his wife. You know, I think he's been made very clear. He's more of that from the idea that, you know, he's the dominant, he is the alpha, he is the billionaire in the relationship, and he is of that more traditional. I think that was part of his disconnect with Kim Kardashian, as a matter of fact. She's very much in her own. In the beginning, they worked. He threw out all her clothes and completely redressed her and rebranded her, and she was all for it in the beginning. But then once she started to really claim that fame on a Kanye level, and he really pranced her around on that note, we saw a total disconnect between them. He wanted someone who was going to be his muse, who was going to follow him around and do all the things that we now see Bianca doing. And I think it's completely reasonable to think that, yes, there are a lot of women that walk around naked. I mean, it's not new. Sex has sold since the beginning of time, and it's not foreign to the nation. You know what I mean? And actually, another gentleman's gonna bring up a great point that wet ass pussy is literally a #1 hit in America. So what are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? This is unfortunately a complete norm, but not to say that I necessarily agree with it, but it's not for me to agree or disagree. I'm just pointing out the facts and the clear hypocrisy that when it comes to Kanye West, Ye, they always spin the narrative to make it seem like he's some sick monster. You know what I mean? And I kind of just don't like that. I love Kanye at the end of the day. I mean, I know he's a little bit messy sometimes. He does over the top things, and every single thing that he does and says and talks about in every genre he taps into, it's always over the top. But that is a part of why we love him. You know what I mean? We might not always agree, but it is what it is.
I don't really know why we should have to tolerate this. I woke up this morning, the sun shining, the birds tweeting, just stretched, went on my phone, and I saw Bianca's bare ass. I don't know why anyone has to
To
tolerate
be fair, if you look at your Instagram feed with your pole dancing,
I'm not
I
naked.
quite often wake up to see yours. So what's the difference? What's the
I'm
difference?
not naked, and that is fitness.
Genuinely curious.
No, I'm not naked. and that
parading
is
around your
fitness.
pole, all that. What's the difference?
I have clothes on.
Yeah.
Well,
That's the difference.
Scanty.
What about on your OnlyFans, Esther?
You wish. You could
Trust me, I do not. I have not seen a woman that naked for that long since I exited the womb.
Okay.
And it was a very shocking thing to wake up to.
I'm sure.
I mean, look, obviously, Kanye is all about, well, Ye, as you know, is all about getting our attention. Now, when he does it for his music, he's a genius. There's no
That's
question.
the problem, though, isn't it?
When
He said it's for him.
Yeah, when it's inflammatory things he says, often that's got him into terrible trouble recently for very good reason. When he's using his girlfriend like this, it just is a bit odd, isn't it, James? I mean,
Yeah, it definitely feels coercive. Also, a lip reader looked into what he said as she took the coat off, and he was like, I got you. So it does appear to be that he basically made her do it. It just feels a bit gross, doesn't it? It just... But
I just hate that term, he made her do it. I don't like it. I think it's wrong to press that type of conversation, and I just don't like that. You know what I mean? I don't know if he did or he didn't, but they don't either. And I don't think it's fair in this culture of how people are very sensitive, lawsuits popping up everywhere, people going to jail for all kinds of crazy things. We have to be very careful in the way that we talk about these things. I mean, he has a huge platform, and I think it's irresponsible of him and his panel to push that kind of narrative.
questioning it because I was like, if it had been Esther on the red carpet, like owning her womanhood, if it had been Lady Gaga, would I have the same opinion? I probably wouldn't, but I think because she's doing it with a man,
Nothing to do with being naked and mentally unwell.
it just doesn't feel right.
These two are mentally unwell.
They don't
people.
seem the full ticket.
Cosplay
Listen,
as
anytime,
adults.
Piers, you want to hit a red carpet together and do the same thing, I'll happily...
you know what? I would not want to strip off in front of you on a red carpet because it would just humiliate you. But I
would.
But I think, yeah, I mean, Andy, look, we're sort of laughing about it, but Ye, as he wants to be called now, he's in a weird place. I mean, he just, even by his standards, the last couple of years have been very weird. Do you think is he all there? Is she all there? Are we watching some weird ongoing meltdown? What do you feel about it?
I mean, nothing shocks me from Ye anymore. He knows what he wants: big boobs, big butt, and he wants a woman who's going to flout it. I mean, I don't know. I'm not surprised anymore. We live in a world where wet ass pussy is a #1 song, and Megan Thee Stallion shaking her butt next to Kamala Harris. I mean, like, we are at a place where it's just the new normal. I remember my parents being all scared when Elvis shaked his hips. Like, it's just a new place we live.
True story. That was like he was banned from like TV and all kinds, like his concerts were shut down and all kinds of stuff. We are in different times, y'all. Like I said, don't necessarily agree with it. Personally, my thoughts really are she takes care of his kids and are around his children. He talks very highly about his children. Northwest is at an age where she's probably online seeing these things. That is really my concern. She's a grown woman, the Bianca girl. She can do whatever she wants. But as a father, from Ye's perspective, that is really what I think of. Like, what are you thinking? What are you doing? You know what I mean? And nothing he does really surprises me anymore either. And nothing a lot of people do surprises me anymore either. The world is changing. Sex, especially in hip hop culture. Like, let's not try to be brand new here. That is all they talk about. Cardi B just had a snippet the other day that is about the most raunchiest things as per usual. And we celebrate it. But now Kanye comes on the red carpet with a half-naked Bianca Censori, and everybody's losing their minds. Like, I just think it's crazy. But love to hear what you guys think. What do you guys think? Was it absolutely diabolical that he did this? Do you think it's very Kanye-like? Do you think that she's forced? Do you think he's holding her against her will to do some of these things? Would love to hear from you. See you on the next one.